moving
Yeah, so
on.
for everybody in here, man, Z just touched on it a little bit, but we want to just tap on in on is something that we've all done in here, and just kind of wanted to get y'all y'all take on it, see what it feels like. If any of y'all have done it, but just talking about like moving to a new state or moving to a new country, just moving to a new place. Period. You know what I mean? That's something that we've all done. It's kind of like a big jump.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
just to get over that mentally. You know what I mean? To tell yourself you want to do something. Um, but to actually make the jump, that's a whole different thing, man. And
Right.
I kind of wanted Z to kick this thing off because he's the freshest off a big move, man. So talk to him a little bit, Z, man. How you feeling? How you feeling in NY, man?
I feel good, man. I feel really good. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had a great weekend too. Side note, shout out to the people who popped out in NYC this weekend. We had some friends in the city, but been out here for like a little officially like 2.5 weeks now. Out here in New York, man, and feeling good, feeling better than ever, feeling inspired. For anyone who's been to New York, and even if you haven't, like understanding what the allure of New York is and what that really looks like. I think that's a big thing. Like, um, they say it's the city that never sleeps, and they are absolutely right. The clubs don't close till 4, and it's still after hour parties. It's still everything's still jumping at 5 a.m. Like it's just like it's
Damn.
the city is still lit, and it's dope to just really like because Denver is not like that at all. Like
Never, man.
being born and raised in Denver, clubs close at 2 a.m. And you typically like you got your like late night spots like like your Chubbies, and shout out to Chubbies. Anybody who know Chubbies, the OG Chubbies, man.
Mm.
You got your spots like that, but it's completely different out here in New York, man. Where like literally just everyone is just on go at all times, like crazy.
Right.
It truly is something special, and it's really inspiring. The thing I love about New York City the most is like how on top of things everybody is. Like everybody moves with purpose. Whether you a janitor, whether you a Wall Streeter, whether you a
Right.
CEO, whether you working at Starbucks, it don't matter. Everybody's up to something, and that's what
Right.
I like. When I think of New York, you think of like kind of like the American dream, like you really out here like chasing after whatever it is that compels you, and it's just really inspiring, man. Like everybody out here is out here for a reason, like
Right.
with purpose, with intention, and it's infectious, man. And so like I really do just genuinely like I'm loving it so far, man. I'm really it's cool to get out your comfort zone, man, and
Right.
just dabble a little bit, like you can't. I I kind of
That's fine.
dove into but it feels good. I'm out here swimming with the sharks, baby. So I feel good.
All right, so my
That's
question
fine.
is, what you just mentioned everything you like about New York so far.
Mhm.
What don't you like about New York? I'm sure there are certain things. Like
Yeah.
Pappy Shampoo mentioned, he was like, "Have you seen any rats?" Not to be negative, I just saw a post about it. Have you?
Nah, man, I ain't seen no rats. Thankfully, I ain't seen no rats yet. The biggest thing, the biggest thing I don't like about New York, I'm not gonna lie, is just it's dirty. Coming from
Right.
Colorado, just in general, is a very clean state. So like
Facts.
coming from that to like New York, where like it's just dirty and like I ain't gonna lie, the thing you gotta watch out for the most in New York City is shit. Like literally shit. Like there just be shit on the sidewalks, bro. Like,
Like
like
shit. Like shit.
literally shit, bro. Like I mean, like like
The shit or
literal
shit.
shit. Like on the sidewalks, because people be walking their dogs and shit, and they don't be picking up after them. So like there literally just be shit
Yeah.
just on the sidewalks and shit. So you really that's one of the biggest fun fact. That is the fun fact about New York. You got to watch where you step because otherwise when you feel something squishy underneath your shoe, you know exactly what you stepped in. You like God damn.
Mm.
Like
God damn.
I'm on the
That
corner.
change.
I'm on the corner of
That'll change your whole day. That'll
Mm.
change your whole
oh yeah.
day. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the corner of 38th and Broadway. No reason to be stepping in shit right now. Like, there's a big ass wad of just shit right there that
Mm.
you see my
But,
30, you see my size 13 print in it. Like, god damn. Like,
but that
God.
there's a life lesson from that though, because there's a quote that says that don't follow the herd because whenever you follow the herd, you step in shit.
mhm.
So I just I just tell them that.
You're dumb as hell for
Be
that.
your own path. Don't follow the herds, man. Because whenever you do, you step in shit. So just thought I should share
Yeah.
that.
Shout out to being fancy. shoes off at the door. That's a big thing because, like, you know, obviously, like like I said, New York City is dirty. So, like, you know, that's what's crazy is like I had to get used to it. Like, so out here in New York, people like they have they have like shoe racks set outside of their houses, their apartments, and they just leave their shoes out there. Like, I remember when I moved in and Austin had his shoe rack like right outside our door. I'm like, bro, somebody could just come and take your shoes. He's like, nah, it's just like that's the thing here. Like here in New York, like people, you just have your shoes outside because you put your shoes on outside, you know, like inside, you know. So like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing about New York. Dirty, and you got to look out for shit. It's wild.
Bro, yeah, if you step in some shit, them shits, you leave them shits outside, bro. I'm not gonna leave them on the rack outside, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But what's so funny though is, and I mean, it's not actually funny. You almost don't know because there's like obviously there'll be homeless and shit. You don't know whether it's human shit or dog shit. Like,
that's what Joanna said. Yeah. It might be human shit. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know, bro.
All right, my question though, which one is better for you to step in?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
That's a lose-lose, bro. That's not a this or that, bro. That's all bad, brother. That's gonna change your day regardless.
One of them smells like kibbles and bits. The other one smells like a fucking chopped
cheese.
It's like you don't really know, baby. Like it's just,
that's nuts.
It is what it is.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna go through the comment a little bit. Joanna said, "I moved every 3 years due to the army. Exploring the world definitely gets out of your comfort zone and allow you to be more open to different cultures." I agree for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fire. Moving every 3 years is fire too. I feel like that's a cool way to live, man. Is you just get to see so many different places.
Yeah,
that's super dope.
What's crazy is like in New York, you could walk down one block, hear 5 different languages. You know, like inquire, like you know. Like sample different cuisines and shit. Like that's another thing that I also love about New York. And you know,
diversity.
I do like is the diversity. Colorado is not diverse at all. Like we all know that. Like you know, so like coming to, it's a breath of fresh air. It's just very refreshing to just be experiencing all these different cultures. So it's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope. Being fancy said she moved from the mountains to New York and now she's headed to AZ. Okay, that's what's up, man. I'm out here in AZ, man. She said New York's about business. Right. What so moving from the mountains to New York, what do you prefer? Being fancy, you're still in here, man. Let us know what you prefer, man. I know that's because that's kind of what Z did, man. You know what I mean? I know you early to it. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's a similar move.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ramond? How was it like for you then when you left Denver to move to Arizona? Like overall, was it hard for you to like make that decision to leave here because you grew up here, all your family and everything here?
I mean, my family's still there, man. So to me, it's I was playing with the idea of moving to Dallas too. You know what I'm saying? Before I moved to AZ. And then just a lot happened in 2020, man. And, you know, I was just ready to just change, bro. I was just ready to really switch it up. And so many people say they're ready for a change and just aren't ready to make the move. Mm-hmm. You know, I traveled to a lot of places, but there's not a lot of places that I could see myself living. Right. But every time I came to AZ, it kind of had like an energy where I was like, I could kind of see myself like actually in the city moving around here. You know what I mean? So it wasn't hard at all for me, bro. When I kind of just made the decision, I came out here, I think it was Thanksgiving in like 2020, I think. Right. And then I think before Valentine's Day, I moved, you know what I mean? So I had been playing with the idea, but I just when I set my mind on it, I was just like, bro, I had the opportunity open for me. I knew somebody that had an apartment out here that they was getting out of their lease, so I was able to just slip right into it, and it just worked out for me, bro. I was ready to just try something different, man. I was over the cold. I was, you know what I'm saying? If I never see snow again, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. And it's ready to switch it up, bro. Like sometimes it's cool to just be running into people that you know, but sometimes it's cool. Like at that point, I was just ready to start fresh, bro, and just be in different rooms where nobody knows me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of reinvent yourself, man. You know, when you move at an older age, I feel like you know, it's hard. Someone told me like, it's hard to become somebody new where you're at because everybody, if you're born there, everybody knows you as a certain thing, right? If they met you in middle school, they remember you as that. They met you in high school, they remember you as that. But when you grow and then move somewhere else, everybody's meeting you where you're at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's been one of the coolest parts to me, bro. Is just to kind of like reinvent myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. You've been out there 3 years now.
Just about, bro. Just about, man. Yeah, 3 years in February, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you
That's
like
crazy.
about what's your like and dislike about AZ right now? What do you like and what don't you like currently?
Let's start with the dislikes, bro. In the summer, bro. Don't come here, bro. Do not come here in the summer, bro. I think the highest I seen it hit was like 124 degrees, bro. Just disrespect, like the heat's just disrespectful, bro. You could really they be playing and shit. You could really fry an egg outside. You know what I'm saying? But like the little shit, bro, burning your arm on the, you know what I'm saying? Like
Damn.
the seatbelt burning you and shit. This little shit, bro. It's just hot.
Yeah.
It's just hot, bro. So the summer is just disrespectful, man. I'm gonna say that. But the kind of the flip side of that is like it really like it was probably 70, 74 today. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So for the rest of the after if you can get through the summer, the rest of
right.
the year is kind of smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's nice the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I ever did live here long term, I definitely have a summer house somewhere else, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
you know but then like it's just it's a different energy, man. I like that it's close to other places, so I could
Right.
I could probably drive to LA, I could drive to Vegas. And one thing about Denver is you couldn't really drive. Even if you drove for 8 hours, you might end up in Kansas. No
Yeah.
disrespect to nobody in Kansas, but I'm not headed that way no time soon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there's really, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't, like in driving distance, you couldn't really move around like that. So it's cool. I
Right.
could shoot out to San Diego, shoot out to
Right.
LA if I wanted to, shoot out to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas for the Super Bowl, but just being able to just drive out there
Right.
4 hours, you know what I'm saying? So I think that the location of it's cool. Yeah, bro, it's just a switch, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a switch, man. And sometimes that's enough. You know what I'm saying? It
I
still has
agree.
like a city vibe,
Right.
but you know, it's just a switch, man. So that's been cool.
And
I will say though, I kind of rock with the people a little more in Denver. I'm not gonna
really,
lie.
really?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. They cool out here. It's just I feel
Right.
like Denver's just a little more laid back, a little more conversational. You
Right.
know what I mean? A little
Right.
more, so.
Mm-hmm.
We was out there. Remember when we was in Scoutsdale during COVID? It was fun. We had a blast for my
Man, it's
birthday.
cool out here.
Yeah, we it was a good
Yeah,
time.
that was a vibe, bro. You had a little player
You
mansion.
know, little man shit all the day. I
That
went
boy
to
had that player mansion, man.
But I rock with what you said, P, about the people. Like when you growing up in Denver, you expect everybody to be like a particular way. And Denver people are like very friendly, like they're very like outgoing, like just naturally, I think. Now
Yeah.
here in New York, I actually just learned a new saying today, like they say people in New York are kind, but they're not nice. And people
mm,
in LA are nice, but they're not kind.
mm,
Oh, that's a vibe.
And
Yeah.
like it's facts though, like because like New York people are very to the point. I ain't gonna lie, they like very like all right, like what's up, like dude, like
right,
what do you like, like
right,
let me get a number two, man. Like my bad, like I was just trying to order. Like you ain't gonna ask me how my day is or nothing, like no,
Nah, we
no,
don't care, bro. What do you want?
no, 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 nothing. Just straight to it. But I honestly like respect it a lot. Like I respect just how like direct people are, and like even though they may not be the like friendliest, they do still have like good intentions. Like at
right.
the day. And so yeah, I learned that saying today, but very much is very true to what I've encountered so far here in New York.
Yeah, that's facts.
Has it made you move any different yet? Like, are you a little more to the point? Because I know you usually just knowing how you are, like you
Right.
usually like, how's your day, man? Just living the dream. I know you really like the upper conversational type of dude. And I know they probably be cutting that shit off sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
what's up, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? So have you switched it? I know it's early, but have you switched it off?
Not really. Like I mean, I'm gonna still always bring the vibes. Like like
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
bring the vibes 24/7. No matter where I'm at, I'm gonna bring the vibes. But I ain't gonna lie, I don't really try to like engage as much anymore. Like, like
mm,
naturally I would be more prone to just engaging with people, like, trying to bring something out of them. Cause usually like that's one of the like skills that I feel like I'm really good at with people. Like I find something that we have like maybe in common or like, and then I gravitate to that and like pull that out of them. Like, like, but here it's just like, like you can try that, but it's not going to really get you nowhere. It's just like, all right, look, I'm just here to take your order, man. Like, what do you want? Like,
What do you want?
all right, man. Like, my bad. I was just trying to build some rapport with you. But I guess that's not the case. We ain't rapporting out here.
No, it's true though. That's one thing I do appreciate from about Colorado, right? Because when I moved here from Philly, because Philly is kind of like it's not quite as New York. We're a little more, kind and all that. Have time, but I noticed the people here were so kind. You go to the grocery store and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? How's the day?" I'm like, "God damn, you asked me about my day. You actually care about me."
He said, "God damn."
No, because I wasn't used to that back in the East Coast, right? People in Philly rarely ask how's the day going when you go to like the grocery stores and stuff. People really don't care. But I think Colorado is so laid back and people have so much time. And then people like actually start to have a conversation with you. And for me, it wasn't something I was used to. So I was like, sometimes I didn't know what to do, right? Like, how's the day going? Like, how are you talking to me? Or like, do you know somebody over here? Or they're just looking at you in the eyes. Oh shit, my day's going good. So
Yeah.
for me, that's
Yeah.
something I noticed, just about coming
Yeah.
here. And also for me, it's like being like, from Liberia, Africa, coming here too is completely different, right? But that
Yeah.
decision wasn't my decision because my parent, however, do decide to migrate out here. However, though, I think sometimes it can just be like starting over, right? Because for me, I had to like start over. All my friends, like people that I knew I grew up with, I didn't have that connection no more. So for me, that was a little bit hard. And I can understand why a lot of people don't make that decision frequently, often, right? Because at the end of the day, everything is like basically pretty much over. You have to like start over. You have to like build your friend group. You have to figure out what the gyms are, like everything, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
fear of just like starting over, I think that sometimes deter people away to like taking that leap of faith. And one thing we also talk about during our last meeting, the good thing is you can always move back. Let's say
Yep.
if you make that transition to a new state, if you don't like the vibe in New York, Denver is always here. The border is not closed. There's no wall.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
fact.
fact.
You
Fact.
always come back. So, life is short. So,
Yeah. No, that's big facts. Like, I think when you talk about moving, that's what I think people feel like is the scariest piece is just like, like obviously you're getting out of your comfort zone, but you're in this entirely new place where you may not know people. Like if you're moving to
right,
somewhere you know people, it's just like still like your core network of people, like, like your family, your friends, you're probably moving away from them. And so it seems like something that is very scary, which in some ways it can be like, if you haven't been removed from that network for, a given amount of time, but that's the thing about it too, is it's just like, if you don't like it, like you can always move back. Like
right,
seeing how fast a year goes by, you could sign a year lease and live somewhere for a year just to check it out and like see if you like it or not. And if it doesn't work out, it's like, cool, I'm gonna just move back. I'm gonna just go back
right.
to what I do like, kind of thing. And so I think that's what, thinking about that, like, and keeping that in the back of my mind. Now, granted, I'm always present my best self and just engage with that environment as much as possible and try to engage with the people as much as possible because I want to learn and get out and meet new people and those types of things. But like at the end of the day, there's always a plan B, right? And plan B is always gonna be home. Like Denver,
Right.
Denver is there ain't nothing gonna change to the point to where we could never go back to Denver. Denver is always gonna be welcoming us with open arms, like
Mhm.
always, But
Yeah, for real.
yeah, no, I'm not moving back to Denver ever. I don't
Ever?
ever
You
ever
done?
ever.
Diamond, what was that move like from Philly to Denver, man? How did it? I know because I know the biggest move probably was Africa to Philly,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
but then
sure.
it was probably like a whole different system.
Right.
Because did you move to Denver for college, right? Like so you
Yeah,
went.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fort Collins. So right from
Yeah,
Philly.
yeah. So you went straight to Fort
I
Collins,
went
man.
to it was completely different though, but however it was a lot easier, right? Because Philly is like most like Z talked about in the East Coast, more diverse, right? A
Mhm.
lot of
Yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
people, and then leaving Philly, like a predominantly black income city, and cool,
Yeah,
not even Denver. Denver is still white, but
yeah.
imagine
Denver a
Fort
little bit
Collins.
more.
Imagine
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like I was like, God damn, like
All right.
I wasn't,
That's
I
crazy.
wasn't ready for that, right? Because it was completely different. I was the only person, like, and only, I'm sure you guys was the same for you guys, but just being the only like black person, all your lecture classes, everything, right?
Yep.
And it was like
Yeah,
whenever they
yeah,
make
yeah.
a joke about race and stuff, that everybody just look at you like, I'm so
Oh man, if they bring up anything about race and look into the back, and see
everybody, I was like,
you
hey,
in the
I'm
you in the
not a
back
victim
leg.
out here. Stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like you got to
Man,
represent the whole black race
you
in those.
have to, bro. Everything you have,
For
even if
sure.
you
Like,
disagree with it, you have to. But no, it was a little different because I wasn't used to it, right? I was used to just being around more black people, and then just coming to like also white people. It was a little bit different, and also for me too, because I left right after high school, so I didn't have like any friends here in Colorado. So it was completely different for me, right? I didn't have anybody to like kick it with. I remember like winter break, I was just staying in Fort Collins because coming to Denver, what am I gonna do? Just stay at my mom house. So I was just staying in Fort
yeah,
Collins, and so
yeah.
it was a little different. It was a little different because winter
Yeah,
break,
because
bro,
I
I was
don't.
in Fort
Yeah, thinking
Collins just
about that,
hanging
like
out.
coming straight to Fort. Think about coming straight to Fort Collins and not having no connects really in Denver.
Yeah,
Why would
nothing.
you go? Why would you be in Denver? Even though it's probably a little more black people, but you don't know them.
I don't
Yeah.
You
know
know what I'm
nobody,
saying? Like,
so
you know what I'm saying? So you probably knew more people in Fort Collins at that
yeah,
point.
everybody. I would just stay up there, bro. Like the first, I actually
Yeah,
moved to Denver. Like it was right after graduation of 2013. That's when I actually started coming out here.
Yeah.
Entire like 2008 to 2013, bro. It was all Fort Collins, man. Just out there hanging out, going hiking. I was a whiteboard for a little bit.
So what would y'all?
yeah.
What would you, Diamond, for you specifically? What do you think was your biggest challenge in both moving from Africa to Philly and then from Philly to Fort Collins? What do you think were your biggest challenges in both of those moves? Because those are very big
Oh
moves.
yeah, I would say from Africa, bro. It was just everything, man. Like, you guys been to Africa before. Like the culture was completely different. Because
Yeah.
back home, you have that interdependent culture. Your
Hmm.
neighbors look after one another. Your family, like the
Yeah.
entire community, knows everybody. But here, when I came to the States, bro, like I would see your neighbor, like, well, neighbor. I'm not even gonna curse. They don't even give a fuck. Fuck it. They don't even give a fuck about you, bro. They don't even they don't even care. Like, God damn, I live here. I don't even know my neighbor, right? Because you don't even know who live next door to you. So it's just kind of like everybody for themselves, right? So that was
Yeah.
a little different for me. I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
Just like everybody for themselves over here. Because back in Africa, bro, like everybody look after you, and also the food is a little different. Everything. But after a while, man, like you just like I'm a soldier. You have to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't have no choice, really, huh? Like
I
you
had no
didn't really have a
choice.
choice but
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Right. Either swim or drown, right? At the end of the day,
That's
you
it.
just have to like, get better, pick up on everything.
Yep.
Like what Being Fancy was saying, she said that NY was a cultural shock, but she said, like the cool thing, she liked the mountains for the detox, but
Mm,
like she said NY for the paper though. So she said
Yeah.
she got a thousand new hustles. So really, like you said, no matter where you go, there's gonna be that that change that you got to make in
absolutely.
yourself, like, because you got to adapt,
Yeah,
or else you
you
just,
have
like you
to,
said,
bro.
sink or swim, bro. You kind of got to make a move. So I'm sure that Z's kind of feeling that right now. It's just like, you know, it's probably so much going around you in NY, and is it like inspiring you though, Z? Like, is it like, yo, I got to get to some of this paper. I need some of this NY paper, bro.
Yeah. It's inspiring. Like it really is. Like I said, I mean, understanding the allure of what New York is and seeing it firsthand, I'm like, man, like, like people be shaking and moving out here. Like they don't be playing. And it is
Yeah,
very inspiring. Honestly, like I feel like every day, like, like I'm like, damn, I need to set my game up. I'm out here, because obviously, like, like I'm over here looking out the window, being nosy and stuff, just trying to take everything in. I'm like, people shaking and moving at all times, man. Like you also, it's funny because somebody had mentioned that like I walk slower, and I'm like, oh, they're like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm from Denver. And they're like, oh, it makes sense. Like, well,
yeah.
like, what are you trying to say? And they're like, well, nothing. Like, it's just like, like you can tell New Yorkers walk with purpose, bro. Like they be walking, like they do everything with purpose. Like I'm trying to get to it. So it's
It was funny. You were saying it. I was like, it does. They be seeming like they always late. Like, what I'm saying? I got to get to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on the way. You know what I mean?
yeah. So
That's funny.
it is really inspiring, man. It really is, and it like I think it pushes you in ways that you like wouldn't have expected, and you can't really like it. Like you can't really know what that looks like until you're in
Right.
the thick of it. That's when you really figure out. I always say that like being in a new place, being in a new environment, always brings out the best in you because like to the point that you guys both were talking about earlier, is just
Right.
adapting. Like you have no choice but to adapt. Like you
Right.
could you could obviously like, you know, just curl up in a ball like in your home and just, you know, like be sad and or, you know, like, you know, discouraged all day, or, you
Right.
know, opposite, you can go out there and thrive, you know, like, and that's
Right.
what we're all trying to do. We're trying to thrive in different ways. And so I it was just, you know, just understanding like what that looks like, and, you know, just kind of rolling with the punches. You kind of figure it out day by day. It's not like I'm going to go out and conquer New York in one day. Like that's not how it's going to happen. Like, you know, like you take it day by day. You take it something, taking a little bit more each and every day. All right, cool. I know how to get to the C. I know how to take the A here. You know how to take the J train, the L train there, and like, you know, okay, cool. Like that. You Any over at the deli, he's gonna whip me up a chopped cheese like the way that I like it. You know, I'm like, nah, man, I actually need Vinny to make myself. Like, you just, you know, and
Right.
it's, you learn what that looks like. It's just, it's cool. And when you're out of your comfort zone, it triggers something new in you, because it's just like, I haven't experienced this before, and you can't really know what that looks like until you're in it.
Right. I mean, I think the change of scenery is good, bro. Because when I left Philly, I think just come to back, I moved to Colorado. I think it helped me focus more because back in Philly, right, it's a lot of distractions going on, a lot of parties and a lot of stuff
Yeah,
going on.
yeah,
Especially being young and impressionable, if you're not someone who have, like a good support system around you, it's easier for you to like fall and hang out with the wrong crowd. And I think just
yeah,
living in that environment, just coming to a place that you have, there's not a whole lot going on, right? If you're someone who
yeah,
have a purpose, it's easier for you to like focus and work on what you're trying to accomplish. I think for me overall, that transition was or turning a pivotal point in my life because I think it helped me get on this track that I'm at right now
yeah,
in my
yeah,
life currently.
yeah. And now that boy meeting with accountants and stuff, you know, just
We out here, man, making big boy moves. This is the way I live.
Not is that's what you hit on something though. Like it's and you see that just with different parts of the U.S. even, but
Right,
just like the speeds of places be different. Like the two things that you hit on that I was kind of fucking with was like the speed of places and space. Right, a lot of places, maybe on the East Coast, like the space is smaller, right? So you don't have like the same type of time to yourself. Maybe,
hmm
you know what I mean? There might be more people in the room. It might be just more people, more neighbors, like kind of stacked on top of each other.
yeah,
But maybe if you're in the South, it's a slower speed, right? You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
you drive a lot. It's a lot of time to yourself. It's big open spaces with yards. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like those things kind of leak into your personality too, right? Like you said, like not only do they walk fast, they probably move fast.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? They probably don't like take a lot of time to think on shit. It's probably like, nah, we got to get it.
yeah.
Like, what's up? We make the play right now. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody else in another place, they might just be naturally just cool and like, well, let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just kind of leaks into the personalities of people. So now when you was hitting on that, that's
right.
something that was stuck out to me. That's for real.
What do you think your biggest challenge was moving from Denver to Phoenix?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a super big challenge. My mom stayed out here, but I think at some point it was just like not having nobody really, like
Right.
no friends, like no, you know what I'm saying, like kind of like starting from scratch. That's a little challenging, but I'm like an introverted that can move in an extroverted situation. So
Right.
I could be on my own, you know what I mean? But then there was just random nights where I want to step out and don't know nobody. So
Yeah,
Right.
I wasn't really used to going out. Like I don't really go out alone a lot, you know what I'm saying? But just doing that a little bit, like shit. There was like this little place I seen, shit, little arcade bar. Shit, let me go check it out, bro. They got a little hookah bar. I'm into that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the one thing about like where you're from, you have people there, right? So you're
Right.
gonna run into people, but you have people there. Like like if something happens, you can call them. You know what I'm saying? There ain't really in
Right.
a new place. There's none of that. There's none of that. It's like you know what I mean? Like it's whatever wherever you are in that moment is just you. You know what I'm saying? So getting used to that
Right.
is a little different, but. And then I think that one thing too is like when you kind of like accomplish a couple wins in
Right.
one place, they don't immediately equate to another place. So like you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like so when people don't know you, they don't you know what I mean? Like
They don't
anybody
know.
can say they did anything. So you
Right.
kind of got to start from scratch of like meeting people and you know what I mean?
Build
And
it up.
especially if you're not the person that try to like just throw out what you've done immediately. Like I see some people kind of like downplay like, oh, Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll get up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, it might be beneficial to both of us. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You know, so
that's true. But yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
can I can I can understand that, right? Because just overall, the human nature overall, we are afraid to like start over. The fear of like it doesn't even have to be moving. This fear of like starting over, trying something new, like working on something different.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we most of the time we are afraid to fail, right? Oh, what if I move to that new state if things doesn't work out? What if I start that business if things doesn't work out? I think just that fear of failure and starting over, I think sometimes just most people it just deter them from even trying because it's hard
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
right? Like moving to a new state. Because I mean, there are some times like I was just by myself. I didn't know nobody out here, and that shit
yeah,
is depressing sometimes, right? Nobody to talk to. Like you
yeah,
have to go
yeah,
out, especially for someone who you are an introvert. You have to actually have to go out, put yourself out there to make friends. It can
yeah,
be hard,
yeah.
so I can like
It's
understand the
gonna be hard.
mental aspect of why people don't want to like start over. Like fuck it, man. I know everyone here. I'm just gonna stay. I have my circle out here.
yep,
People know me, but at the end of the day, I think for us to grow in all aspects, man, we have to like challenge ourselves. We have to try something new and
absolutely.
figure things out. We can always be in our comfort zone.
Absolutely. Like I think you learn the most in life from challenges. Like, like challenges present you with the opportunity to learn something new about yourself. Like, and doing the same thing every day, you're not gonna learn anything new.
Right.
Like if I go out and chop a tree every day, there's probably only so many different ways to chop a tree. I'm like, after probably like day 7, I got my I got my technique down. And if I just keep chopping this tree every day and just doing that, that's probably all. There's not a whole lot that's gonna come from life. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just keep chopping this tree, chopping this tree, chopping this,
Right.
tree, chopping this tree. But like, let's say I move somewhere now, and I'm just like, oh, like like I don't see no trees, but I see a beach. Like, okay, like what do I
Right.
do? Go out to this water. Let me dip my toe in. Like okay, now let me like go a little bit further out. Like all right, now I'm up to like knee length, and then like now, okay, hold up, I know how to swim now. Like a
Right.
little. It's just you present yourself with a new environment, you get to learn new things, and that's just
Right.
this piece about moving is just like you presented with challenges. Granted, like not everything comes easy. I would say my challenge with moving from Denver to Dallas was really just to Pete's point, kind of like the how slow everything moved. Everything moved slowly. Like and I was in a place where like granted like if I wanted to go out and meet people I could, but like I had to like in Denver like everything you might drive a maximum of like 30 minutes. In
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in Texas, in Dallas specifically, you got to drive 40 minutes to get anywhere. Like literally any
Damn.
like
Nah, bro.
so
It's for real.
to go out and try and meet people, like you're literally having to go out of your way to like
Right.
and I think that was the biggest challenge because it's just like like I had this nice house with this big yard and it's just like you just be wanting to kick it out the house, but then it's just like, well damn, like I ain't really doing nothing, like I don't really like know nobody, like I am cool with my neighbors because I try and go out of my way to meet my neighbors and stuff like that, but outside of that it's just like the only people you really meet are like people from work and stuff like that, and like but I think you'll eventually start venturing out a little bit. Like there's a couple of times I would go to like bars and stuff like that by myself, but it's just different when you move by yourself.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like you like how do I go out and make new friends? Like, do I just approach a group of people like, hey, I'm Zenas, like I'm a really cool like like it's just like like I had to practice my elevator speech. Like I only had about 11 seconds to like really real people in. I'm Zenas Denver. I'm a DJ. This is like I'm a really cool guy. I'm an account manager. I'm a, I'm a trendsetter by night. I think we should probably be. I'm saying like y'all rock.
That's hilarious.
If y'all are, I'll buy you a drink. What's up? Like, like,
That's hilarious.
there's only
Yo.
so much of that you can do. And it's just like all right. I'm after about the 7th time of giving my elevator speech. I'm like, man, I ain't putting myself out there like that, man. Like
Right.
it's different. It's different moving alone, kind of thing. And so,
Right.
And that's what we talked about. Z, I just wanted to add to that. We were talking about how even it's like like it's easier even to move around when you got people which like when you got
Right.
people with you, even if they don't live there. So like we was talking about, like when me and the homie B popped out to Dallas to rock with you, it's probably easier for you to meet new people with
Right.
us there
Yeah,
as like a group as opposed to just being there solo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even if we didn't live there, just while we're there, it was easier to kind of connect. It's always easier kind of to network as a group sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
absolutely.
It just is, you know what I mean?
So my question for y'all though, at this age, do you think it's a lot harder to make like genuine friends? Because I think I'm not gonna. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a little harder to like make friends now at this age?
Yeah, like that's also like, you know, it's funny because P and I, we were actually talking about this because I had moved to Dallas and he had moved to Phoenix, and we were talking about that, like how do you establish like a new core unit of friends? Like that's like a
Right.
really hard to do, because also like, you know, I'm not trying to like, you know, dog anybody, but I have like a really high standard for my friends too, because like all of my people are solid, like really good
Right.
people, ourselves included. Like everyone within my circle moves a particular way, and someone like that I'm proud to call my friend, kind of thing. So it's also like I can't just be friends with just anybody. Like I granted, like I could be cool with a lot of people. Like, you know, I can go
Right.
out and be cordial, I can be friendly and all that stuff. But like as far as like, you know, like when you start like, you know, peeling back layers and like, you know, getting real like introspective and stuff like that with people, like there's really only so far you can go. And it's just like, dang, like you realize like it kind of is hard to like establish like new like core units of friends, like, you know, like that are like really like people that you gonna rock with like on that level, you know, because obviously like with people like us, we built friendships like literally over years, you know, right? Like, you
Right.
know, and not saying that we can't go out and establish new friendships and whatnot that'll like last for years. I just harder when you get older, because I think another thing that we talked about too is like as you get older, I think you become a lot less tolerant too, right? You know, like I,
Facts.
you know, we used to tolerate a lot of things. We used to tolerate, you tolerate people just to a point, because it's just like you want to be friends with somebody, or like you're trying to holler at this girl, whatever the case may be. So you're a lot more tolerant of things. When you get older, it's just like, bro, I just don't really care. I don't really like tolerate none of that. Like I'm like, you know, I'm out here trying to shake and move. Like, are you about
Right.
to? If not, like that's cool too. Like we can still be cool. Like we cool. Like that's my guy. But it's just like, you know, like is this really like my dog type of thing? Like, you know, like
Mm.
I think establishing that new corner unit of friends is hard. Shout out to Marco in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I said the same thing. And first, I had to shout out to JP. He said he's wearing the BBLK sweater right now. Hey, but yeah, bro. Just to a lot of Z's points. I kind of agreed. Like to we've had that conversation. I agree to the T on that. But even to add to that, it's like when you're younger, you have to be around people,
Yeah.
Facts.
right? Like you go to school or you go to, you know what I'm saying? Like you just have to be around people. If you go to college, it's like you just when you're walking through, you just have to be around people. As you're growing, you really don't. Maybe your job, but how cool do you really want to be? Make friends at your job. There's a possibility that you just not rocking with nobody there, right?
Right.
So like as you get older, I just feel like it's harder to even, because you like Z was saying, like to be tolerant to certain things because you know yourself more too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what you do like and don't like, and then there's
Right.
like certain shit is like to build like dope connections. It takes time, bro. So like
Facts.
to even give that time to new people is even tough, right? Like you got your own things you're doing, so to build that rapport, like Z was saying, with new people, it takes going way out of your way to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
what I mean? And then so the only time, so it kind of makes the question like, how would I meet him? I
Right.
think the only way that would make sense is if y'all was doing the same thing, right? So if I was in music and I was in the studio and I was
Yeah.
like going there all the time and I started seeing people there and I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We should connect.
Right.
I know that we both do that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it will be easier to connect off like a connected passion than just like linking up, just like, like let's get a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? So like if you was in the gym maybe, you know what
Right.
I mean? It probably would make more sense to link up with somebody that at least you share that in common with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think you get older, man, and do you even want that many friends when you get older?
Yeah.
Really? I honestly want like a small group of core friends and a million acquaintances. That's kind of
Right.
what I want.
Yep.
I
Right.
want my network to be crazy,
Yeah.
but my
Right.
core group to be small. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's kind of how I want to move at this point. You know what I mean? Because to be in your core group,
You
you gotta know they solid. They got you when shit goes left, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that takes moments to you gotta see that in real time, bro. So
yeah.
yeah, that's my take on it, bro.
And shout out to Cass gang, just like you said,
Gang,
Shout out
gang.
to Cass, man. Shout out to Cass, bro.
man. Like to P's point, like it's funny, like this. I tell this story. The way that I knew P was solid, like I knew like he was my guy. I'll never forget this moment in history. Like so,
Let's hear it.
this was this was New Year's, like what, like 2015, something like that. I think it was like New Year's 2015. And we obviously was out, like we was fucking around, having a good time. I got so wasted, I fell asleep in the club. Like I pulled a P. He's normally the one that's falling asleep.
That's usually me.
I'm not talking about just like a little like dozing off. Like I was K'd. Like I mean like out like a light. Like I was K'd.
Legs up on the couch. It was like a couch. Legs up on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
It's like on the couch, man. Like, and we had gotten bottle service that night, and obviously I had given the waitress my card, like obviously to like, hold the card. So here I am, slumped, Humpty Dumpty over here on the couch.
In the club. Oh my God.
In the club, bro. Like just like full, like in REM sleep, bro. Like in like REM, having blissful dreams and stuff. And so I never came to either. Like there was no point where I even remember like coming. I was blackout like the entire night.
Damn.
I don't remember anything until the next morning, and I woke like obviously like woke up. I didn't know where I was and stuff like that. And I just remember talking to P. I was like, "Yo, like what happened?" Like I was like, he was like, "Oh, bro, like you was K, like you felt oh Slumpty Dumpty over here."
Slumpty Dumpty.
I was like, "What happened to my card?" Like I was like what even ended up happening? He was like, "Nah, bro. Like, see what happened was, man. Like they was just trying to like charge your card." Like, and just be like, like he'll just pay for it and like we'll figure it out after that. And he was like I remember he was like, "Nah, that's not what we gonna do." Like he's like, "You're not about to just charge my homie's card. Like we out right now." And like
they had ordered extra bottles too when you was asleep.
Yeah.
So there was like other people part of the group that had ordered extra bottles to this thing. And I came back down and there was extra bottles on the table. Different people was around the table and shit. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
they ran up a tab.
And they like, well, like, just put it on his card. I'm like, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we're not doing that.
No.
Hell nah. We're not doing that. We gonna figure this out right now. I didn't even drink that bottle, bro. You know, and he didn't drink it because he was asleep.
Yeah.
You know?
I was DJ Rem that night. I was DJ Rem, baby. So yeah, and then like after he told me that story, I was like, bro, like that's how I knew. Like from that moment, I was like, he's my dog, man. I was like, man, like a lot of people would have just been like, yeah, just charge his card, like like
I don't know,
we could just like Venmo him or like whatever the next day. He was like, nah, like we finna figure this out right now. And to me, that shows you like what people do behind your back or when you're not present is really like what they think of you, kind of thing. And that's a huge testament to just P. And just like, like I always say, like your biggest tests of character are like what people say about you when you're not in those rooms or when your ass is asleep in the middle of the club, like one of those two things.
Right.
So from that point forward, I knew P was my dog, man. Like, but like, yeah, shout out to the Slumpty Dumpty story. Like
Ramond, do you have footage of this incident? Do you have footage at least? Do you have Snapchat?
Nah, man. See, it's so crazy, man, because like people, if anybody knows me, man, I didn't have some moments, right? I didn't have plenty of them moments. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the one that like runs to the phone even to get the pic. I be trying to figure the situation out.
Right.
Some people would just be getting the pics instead of me. Like,
I mean, I'll do both. I would figure it out, guys. Some pictures of him.
So we're gonna get this pic on. I think there is a pic floating around though. I think there is one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure somebody at that point, like, because now granted, I wasn't asleep by myself. Like there was another person who was sleeping with me. So shout out to that person too. I was like,
had to run your car.
That was a situation. I was like, this is insane.
That's funny. So
Diamond the type to run your car when you sleep.
So is DG be like, hey bro, we popping bottles.
Matter of fact, order another bottle before y'all close that. You know what I'm
Three
saying?
more bottles. It's on my DJ right now. He's asleep. It's okay. I talked to him earlier.
Oh, that's stupid. That's
No,
stupid as
no,
hell, man.
that's true though, bro. Because at the end of the day, other people wouldn't care, man. They would just like keep adding onto it. But the fact that he looked after you while you was
Yeah,
in the club, that just shows your real one for sure from day one. But
facts.
that's the point I'm trying
You
to
know,
go. Go ahead, Ramon.
I just real quick, I was gonna add to that. The way to connect that whole thing is like it takes those moments to know sometimes. So when you're talking about new friends and new places, you
Right.
don't know what's gonna happen in those moments. They
Exactly.
don't even necessarily owe you that.
Yeah,
They're
Right.
like, bro, I don't know
yeah.
this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? He might not even be a good person. I don't know him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Imagine,
they don't owe you that. Like, bro, I hope you got home straight. Not everybody's just gonna look out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
yeah. Now imagine that same story, but in New York. Imagine me falling asleep in the club in New York with bottles, bro. Imagine. I don't even.
oh
I
my
don't know.
God, bro.
I would be scared to look at my. I would be scared to look at my bank statement the next morning. I would be frightened. I would be frightened to look at my damn bank statement.
God damn. Yeah, sheesh.
So
have
That's a
you
scary
have you
thought.
have you fell asleep after that incident? Did it ever happen again?
you said what?
Have you ever fell asleep in the club after that incident?
Nah,
Nah.
that was that was the last time. That happened since.
I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same, brother.
Oh my god, bro, it's so funny, bro. Mom be sleeping, dog. Like, we'll be
That
late,
boy,
you fall asleep.
that boy,
Boy,
But I
any
can like that's the point I
boy,
was trying to
man.
make. Though I can like understand why it's kind of like scary for you to like go out there, and move to a new state because you don't know nobody, bro. Like you're gonna go out there and try to like find a new friends group, and you don't even trust those people.
yeah,
So I can like understand why most people don't take that leap of faith, or most people don't even try it because it can be scary sometimes, bro. Just you alone, just moving
yeah,
somewhere different, trying to figure it out. Your families are not there. And especially, let's say if you have kids, you got to worry about babysitter. Let's say here, if you have kids in Denver, you have your mom, your family around that can babysit, but in a new state, like
mm-hmm,
everything, man, it can
Mm-hmm.
be like,
yep,
it might be sometimes it can be a little more costly and all that.
mm-hmm,
So it can be hard sometimes, but we were talking about like the positive, right? But I'm sure there'll be some times that the wrong move could put you in the wrong move, right? You might travel and there's
Yeah,
people around you.
yeah,
Now you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. So,
exactly.
yeah,
Yep. And just to Pete's point earlier, redefining who you are, like that's a big piece of being in a new environment too, and just like being able to establish whatever you want to identify as, like whatever you want your future self to look like, you have the ability to create that in real time when you
right,
move. Like because just like Pete said, nobody knows you. Like like people are still learning about you, so they meet you at that level and like grow with you from there. Like whereas people like like people from your past and stuff like that, people who met me in college, they probably still gonna be thinking of me as like college Z, like, and I'm
right,
like, bro, I'm 34 years old now. I'm a completely different person than I was in college. Now, granted, I'm still the same core of who I am, but like,
right,
to Pete's point, there's been so much experience between now and then that like,
right,
I still, evolving and forever evolving and like, kind of thing. And so it's cool for people to like to meet new people at where you are now and then grow with them from
yeah,
there too. Like, like that's also it's also cool to see like those friendships and those things established as well. Even if they are not a part of your core group, it's still cool to meet
right,
people in those different phases of your life because like, I think those are going to be things, core memories that you're going to remember forever. Like, yo, I remember I met Sandra in New York at this particular place
mm-hmm.
and we immediately just vibed and like, from then on we was homies forever, kind of thing.
right,
Like,
Yeah,
kind of thing, but you have to take that leap of faith in the first place to even get to that point, to experience those new core memories. We talk about core memories all the time. Like in order to engage and encounter new core memories, you have to place yourself in the places to be there. And like, just like P being out in Phoenix, me being out in New York now, like who knows where life is going to take us in the next year, 2 years, 5 years,
right,
years from now, kind of thing. I think eventually I want to live overseas, kind of thing.
right.
So but in order to establish those new core memories, lock those new core memories, you got to get out of your comfort zone.
I agree. And the
Uh,
yeah.
comment,
Z, that's a question for you, Z. I said I'm thinking about moving to Dallas. Any tips?
yeah,
You just moved out of Dallas, so you moved to Dallas and out of Dallas. So
yeah.
I know you got the tip, brother.
Um, if moving to Dallas, I would definitely, first and foremost, I would recommend, and it's something that I just am a firm advocate of. Definitely buy. Don't rent. Buy. Because
mm,
ownership is everything. And Dallas is a place, Texas just in general is a place that it's really affordable to buy. So
Right.
like I would absolutely buy. Moving to New York, I did not buy because like I'm like it does not make sense to buy here. But that's the type of Texas is the type of market where it makes sense to buy, because even let's say you bought a place and only lived there for a year and sold it, you would still make a profit from that, you know,
Right.
kind of, or
Right.
just the same thing that you would be doing renting. All you're doing is paying for your, like, you know, like your rent, whatever the case may be. Like you still have expenses with that, you know, but you own something now. So that would be the first thing that I recommend, is definitely ownership. Secondly, I would say live somewhere close to the city, because like I was more in Fort Worth, like kind of on the outskirts, more like as opposed to being in Dallas. And that's the only thing that I really regret about that, is like I wish I lived closer to the city, because like if I wanted to go to like downtown Dallas, that was like a 45 minute drive for me, you know, like kind of thing. And so the thing that sucked about that was like I didn't realize it, you know, obviously like when I bought my home and figured it out, but like after I did, I was just like, dang, like you come home at like, you know, like we're talking like 2, 3 in the morning after going out.
Right.
Nobody make a 45-minute drive home. Yeah, I was trash. That was the worst thing, you know. Like so,
Yeah.
definitely be closer to the city, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
But I would say with Dallas, like Dallas is cool, man. Dallas really is a vibe. Like be prepared to experience all different things. Like be prepared to drive, because you got to drive 40 minutes to get anywhere. I'm talking about if you're going to Arlington, you're going to Irving, you're going to Plano, it don't matter. Like the whole Metroplex, you're driving 40 minutes to go
Right.
anywhere. You know, so just be prepared to drive. Have a fuel efficient vehicle.
There you go.
Other than that, Dallas is a vibe, man. Like it really is. Like the people there are super cool. Like, you know, like Southern hospitality is a thing. Like it really is. And just be prepared to eat a lot of good food, a lot of good barbecue. You know, like I'll say pop up on Terry Black's. Terry Black's might be some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. That's in downtown Dallas. That's in Deep Ellum, actually. And then also in Deep Ellum, there's this spot called Off the Cuff. If you were looking for a really good time, like to have like a life, go to Off the Cuff in Deep Ellum, man. Like that spot is a vibe. Like just Deep Ellum, just in general, is like Deep Ellum is like it's like a neighborhood of Dallas. About the Deep Ellum, they got like breweries and stuff like that. They got a lot of like bars, a lot of clubs and stuff like that. So that's just a really fun area. So like if you trying to step out and have a good time, I'd highly recommend Deep Ellum for sure. You know, yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm listening to a commercial right now. You're killing it.
Yeah, you killed that. That was.
Oh, and if you want to have one of the best steaks you'll ever have in your life, go to Papa's Steakhouse. Go to Papa's Steakhouse in Dallas, man. One of the best steaks you'll ever have in your life.
Hey, Zenas, I want to move to New York. Any recommendation?
Well, no.
Yeah, I think you killed it, bro. You killed it for sure.
Absolutely.
What up, PK? What up, PK, man? Shout out to Paul, man.
Shout out to Aunt Shirley.
Shout out Aunt Shirley in the building. PK said move to Delaware. I honestly don't know anybody that ever would live there. I know people do. They like file their business there because it's like the tax situation be different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't know nobody.
A single person from Delaware, like not a single person
from or live there or at all. I don't know anybody from Delaware.
You do, Z. You do, Joe Biden.
I don't know.
I
don't know
Delaware.
There you have it.
No, but that was a cool spot though. You know, because Philly is close to Philly, right? So I knew, you know, growing up in Philly, I knew a lot of people from there. But I never one day anyone was from Philly like, oh, let's go to Delaware today and go turn up. Nah, never heard that. It was always New York, you know, Atlantic City. I never one day people heard anyone say, oh, we're gonna go to Delaware today and get laid. Nah.
Yeah.
But it might be different as a grown man, right? Because that might not be what you're looking for to get lit now, right? It, like different times in your life, a different place might be different. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's good in business, or maybe you know what I'm saying. Like maybe there's like, cause I know the tax situation. A lot of people file in there for that reason. But I wonder if like it's good. I don't know. You know, but that's what you realize too is like different places to live at different times in life, right? Like you know, there's some places that might be funner when you in high school, but you know when you 30, you don't. it don't make as much sense. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm trying to turn up every weekend. So
look at boy lying, boy.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, man. We focus, man. We in our
Nah,
chapter of life. Which shout out to my guy Nigel earlier. He asked us the question. I know we had skipped over it, but he said, "I want to know how do y'all keep the focus?" And honestly, you know, just kind of touching on that, I honestly think it's actually easier to focus when you do move because like you
That's a bar.
opportunity to like create whatever it is that you want to. If you want to go out and be an electrician, you don't have those distractions anymore. Like all those
right,
distractions, like whether it be women or men, or you know, like whether it be always wanting to go out all the time, you know, like you might be like more accustomed to being a homebody now that you moved, and so like you do have the ability to lock in, and like if you trying to lose weight, it's like, bro, I ain't got no excuses, I ain't got no distractions, I could just lock in for the next like 6 months and go crazy, you know, kind of thing, and redefine
Yeah.
like, and you have the opportunity to do that. So I actually think moving does assist you with like that level of focus, because don't get me wrong, it depends on what your priorities are too. Like
right, right,
if you're just trying to party and get lit and have fun all the time, that's probably not gonna be hard to like. It's probably gonna be hard to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But if you're in that like chapter where you're trying to like just like if you're trying to lock in and really just like go all out, you know, like you have the opportunity to do that. You don't have the distraction. So I think moving can aid you in that degree, but it just really depends more so on your mental, like what it is that you.
right. I agree. I would
That's
say,
a fact.
yeah, I would agree. I would say more of like your mentor, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're somebody who love to procrastinate, it don't matter if you go to Idaho, like like Idaho, like you still go you still go procrastinate, right? Because at the end of the day, you can realize, man, I don't have shit to do, so now I'm just gonna play video games all day, go on IG. But I think it's all half comes down to what you want to accomplish. Like for us right now, we want bigger things, and we know about wanting bigger things. Those things are not gonna accomplish themselves. So we
Mm-mm.
have to
Yeah.
increase the intensity. We have to increase the focus to be able to like manifest those things. Like for you, your music thing, you like, all right, I want to take this to the next level, and that's when you made that transition to New York. So I think for me, it's all first comes down to what you really, really want, right? If
Yeah,
you want to, if you want not something bad, you're gonna just put in that time and effort and just stay focused. And also, man, I think just the people around you, having that support group too helps a lot because
absolutely.
we
Yeah.
definitely hold each other accountable a lot most of the time.
Of
Like
course.
last week, we had that discussion about going all 800%, and ever since then, I've been doing my entire like planning
Yep.
everything in my tasks. So I think just having the people around you too, people who
Yeah.
want something more for themselves too, makes it a lot easier for you to like stay focused.
And to that point,
That's it.
said, you know, having that core group of people to support you. The thing too is like none of us are in the same location, you know, like, but
Right.
that's also the thing too. We're in the digital era that is like, if you still want to stay connected with people and have people like help you with your accountability, stuff like that, you have the every opportunity to do so. This all started because P and I, you know, when we got back from Africa, we just wanted to lock in and focus up. And we stopped just doing phone because we have these conversations over the phone all the time. But we started like taking it more seriously. All right, let's hop on a Zoom meeting. Like, you know, like let's actually like make this a thing, like where we gonna hold each other every week, you know, like and that's where it all starts with your intentions. Like I said, like what do you want? Like what are you prioritizing, you know, kind of thing. And we just knew that we wanted to lock in and focus. And we've helped each other, even though we're miles and miles away from each other. Like we still talking, you know, damn near every day, and just helping that with that extra level of accountability, and just overall just like staying focused and locked in, man. It's truly a blessing.
And
Yeah.
like you said, bro, like just to kind of connect on just what you said, you don't necessarily need a lot of people, and they don't necessarily even need to be in the same place. Sometimes it's like me and Z we talk so much it's almost like we do live in the same place
Yeah.
because we
Right.
chop it up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, damn near every day, man. You know, but then we turned our conversations into like business meetings. Like let's really run this. So you don't need a lot of people, just a couple people to hold you accountable to what you're trying to do, you know, hold them accountable. And it helps, and it's easier if you lock in with people that are focused on the same thing as you, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it's just easier, right? Like, because even if it's two people focused on different things, you could hold each other accountable a little bit. But if y'all focus on the same thing, it's easier to just be like, let's have a meeting about this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it's easier, man.
Yeah.
He said, where do I find the community? I think places like this, bro. I think places like this sometimes, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I think even bigger than that, to me, it's like it's easier to find a community if you like if it's attached to some type of thing.
Right.
Like if it's a fitness community, there's fitness communities. If it for me is I'm gonna always have a music community because that's what I'm into.
Right.
So I think it's like one thing is kind of knowing what you're into,
Yeah.
and then there's everything from Facebook groups to
Right.
conferences.
Yep.
Right.
You know, sometimes you got to get out your comfort zone a little bit, but putting yourself around people that like have the same interests as you, I think you're gonna naturally find somebody in there that thinks a little bit similar, right? Like
Right.
if I'm in the studio, I at least know somebody probably likes music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, so
And also,
I think that's a good one.
also mentorship. Like, like
Right.
if you see somebody who moves a particular way, or like, like is in a realm of where you want to be, like is in a sector that you want to be in, reach out to them. Like, like you're literally a DM and email, like anything,
Right.
a message away from anybody. Like that's the crazy thing era where like every accessibility is at its highest. So like whatever
Right.
you can go and find it. Go search on YouTube whatever it is that you want to accomplish, and then like look up the people, like the top creators, and like reach out to those people and like be like, hey, like like
Right.
would you
Thanks.
be my mentor? Like like I just
Right.
have a couple questions for you, kind of thing. And
Right.
like most people are willing to like obviously share knowledge and stuff like that.
Right.
Everybody's out here trying to gatekeep, like knowledge and stuff. Like I
Right.
just but at
No,
the same also bringing value
right.
to like
Right.
something we talked about,
Right.
well.
Yeah, and also bless 877 said reach out to me because that's something I'm creating right now. I'm creating like a networking group for minorities out here in Denver, but it's not
Yep.
just limited to people in Denver alone.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna like have it online so people from every part of the states can be able to like network and connect with one another. So definitely reach out to me, bro. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ule said he didn't took a nap and we still on, boy. We locked in, baby. Come on, man. While they
Yeah.
sleep, we eat. You know what I'm saying?
But that's how it go, bro.
Maybe.
We last podcast we said we was gonna go 100%. With whatever
Yeah.
we're doing,
Yeah.
and also for you guys, what are some tips? What are some things, right, before you made that transition? What are some things that before you made that transition to move to a new state? What are some things that you worked on?
She said,
Let's say.
but
Shout out to Miss Blessed.
Bro.
You know?
Oh man,
shout out to Bless. I still tap in because we still that
Still
network
tapping.
that network applies to men and women. So
That's a fact.
But
Shout out to Miss Blessed.
my
Mrs.
bad. I know
Blessed. You know what I'm saying?
stay blessed, girl. Stay blessed.
What was the question, Donna?
No, like to make that transition right to a new state, because most of the time people want to like move to a new state, right? They have to like make sure to save enough money, have other things going on. Like, what was it like for you? What you
Yeah.
got? Someone want to join in? Let's see. But what was it like for you guys to like make that? What are some preparation you did before taking that leap of faith to move to a new state?
Look at him. Look
Make
at
money.
him. Look at him, man. Shout out to Mickey G,
Mickey G's
man.
in the building.
What's up? What's up, guys? I'll be busy, man. That's why I don't come on. What's going on?
We Gucci, bro. What about you?
Man, we just locked in, man. Trying to stay consistent. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Well, we like 12 weeks in or something like that, ain't we?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. I love the topic though. I was listening, Damo. Go ahead.
No, I was asking Z and them like, what are some preparation you guys made before taking that leap of faith, moving to the new state, right? Like, did you save? Did you plan? Like, what are some moves that you
Yeah.
made in order to like take that leap of faith? Because you have to like start over. You got to make sure that you're in a good financial position, especially in that case you
Yeah.
don't have a job lined up for you. So, what was it like for you guys?
Yeah.
I hop in. Oh yeah, I hop in first real quick, man. Yeah, to me, I will say it was a lot. It was a lot easier in the position I was at that time, right? Like, because I was so ready to leave that I just quit the gig. But like, I had some other like music and investments that was like, that was still coming in like passively, and then I had a nice little, I was sitting on nice little savings too. So I would say, like, for sure, if you want to make a jump, for sure try to put a little bit aside, you know what I'm saying? Try to get you a little savings just because you never really know how
Right,
shit's set up. You know what I'm saying? If you have just enough for 1 month to get into a spot and then something goes wrong, then you know what I mean?
right,
It can get crazy, man. But another thing I would say is, like, I started working remote, you know what I mean? So that, you know, that might be something that you want to look at, so you could maybe get a job before you even move there.
right,
You know what I mean? So if it's remote, you could get a job and then just move there and still have your gig. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you want to move. Um,
And do
and
some
then just, man,
research.
you know, I think the last thing I would just say is, like, sometimes we just forget that we know people. You might know somebody that moved out there that you just forgot that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was cool in high school or something like that, or cool in college, or you know what I'm saying? Y'all went to the same church or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, maybe even just post, like, do any of my friends live in
right,
this place? You know what I'm saying? Somebody might hit you and just be like, yo, yeah, I'm out here, man. Hit me when you get down here. We'll get a drink or something. They, you know, and it's
right,
always easy to be put on by somebody who's already out there, man. So
And I think
right,
yeah,
you had to do a lot of good research too.
yeah,
You had to go to the city you want to move in, do your own research. Because a lot of people sometimes they move based on other people's expectation, based on what other people experience. What I have
that's a fact.
experienced may not be something that will work for you, right? So for me, I believe before you move to another city, go there, do your research first. And
That's a fact.
most often people say, "Oh, I want to move because I don't want to do this." I feel like if you want to move mentally, for me first, you got to be ready.
right,
Mentally, you got to be ready.
Yeah,
Because why you in the first place, why you want to move? Those are the first questions you should ask yourself. Why do I want to move from Denver to Philadelphia? Am I moving because I'm partying too much? Everywhere in America have clubs, right? Or am I,
right,
am
that's a
I am I
fact.
moving from this city because I have so many girlfriends? Everywhere have women, right? Mentally,
Yeah,
you gotta be, you gotta prepare yourself first. If you're leaving a city for the reason, you gotta be prepared. Like if I feel like I'm spending so much money in Colorado, I should learn financial literacy first before
right,
leaving
boom.
Colorado. You know what I mean? Because if I don't learn that, I go to another city, I will still exhibit those same behavior. Nothing will
right,
change. You know what I mean?
That's
So I
money.
think for me, moving from Philly, coming to Denver was a lot of great things for me to do because I feel like in Philly, I wasn't ready to focus. You know what I mean? I still party, I still do what I do.
You got
but,
you, boy.
but it's not compared to, mentally, I told myself, mentally, I was like, I'm ready. I came here, did a little research. Diamond live here, my parents live here. So, they talked to me about Colorado. And then mentally, I was prepared. Do I have some money? You can have all the money saved, bro. If you're not mentally prepared, you still gonna do the shit you choose not to do. So for
right,
me, it was about
That's a
my
fact.
mental state of mind. I made sure like, okay, I'm going to Colorado. My credit gonna be great. I gonna learn more financial literacy. I gonna stop doing a lot of shit. And then moving here, it was easy because mentally I was already prepared. I already prepared myself for all those things. So I start partying. I start doing all the things I used to do. So moving should be your mental state of mind. You can save all the money you want to save, but you should be mentally prepared to know that if I'm moving to this city, I'm ready to live in that city. Because there
right,
are people who move and spend 6 months in a city and move right back
Right back, right back.
right,
to where they came from. Like, man, that ain't my place. Your blessing is not one place.
right,
In Philly, I was good, but in Denver, I'm 20 times
Yeah,
better than what I
right,
was doing in Philly. I always tell people that. So for me, is you want to move. Those are one of the reasons why it's okay to move because you don't know what your blessing is. You might
yeah,
right,
you must start doing something in Denver, and that things may not work. But moving to another city, you must start connecting with more people, and that business might grow. So moving to me
right,
is good. But for
right,
me, your mental state of mind you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Yeah, but how much money you save? Oh, I don't want to be around this person. You can still do all those things that you don't want to do in our city and do it in our new city. But you should be
right,
like,
that's a fact.
you know what I mean? It's like a net club, Denver Hot Club. Moving from Vegas to come to Colorado, like, okay, I don't want to live in Vegas because I party too much. Colorado still have clubs.
Right there, right there on Marcus, right there at clubs you call. You know what I'm saying? They still fucking around.
He
Denver,
said,
Denver still have clubs. So I feel like mentally you should train yourself to the point where you stop partying in Vegas first. Stop
Right.
going to the club in Vegas. Stop spending money. Now, when you move to Denver, it's already part of you.
Right.
You wouldn't do the
Hmm.
things you say you don't want to do. But if you just move abruptly and be like, oh, I'm just gonna move, I won't change. You're not gonna change, bro. You're still gonna do those things. So for me, it's like your mental state of mind got to be right before you
Right.
even think about moving.
I heard this thing that said, Everywhere you go, there you are." You know what I'm saying? It's the same you wherever you go,
Right.
Yeah,
for real. So
exactly.
you got to focus on the mindset switch first.
Yes.
What's some ways, Mickey, that you on here? What's some ways that you started making that switch? Like before you made, what was helping you like lock in the new ways before you made the jump?
Because first thing was like I wanted a new life experience for my kids and for myself. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Don't get me wrong, Philly wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Ain't like I was suffering, but
Right.
I
yeah,
feel like, you know what I mean? I want my kids to go to live in a better environment. But when I moved to Denver, I see the difference between Denver and Philly, right? Philly is big. Don't get me wrong. Philly got beautiful places. But when I moved here, I seen the school, I really learned about the school district, the homes, the way everything is structured is kind of different. So I was like, you know what? I think moving my kids to Denver would be the better investment for me. But a lot of people do not do those things. They just move based on, oh, you live in Phoenix? Yeah, man, Phoenix is warm, it's nice, it's job.
it's
You know what I
lit.
mean?
They be
Right.
having brunches on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Tap
So,
in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so for me, it's like, Damo always says something, right? You always tell me, I always tell Damo, hey, I don't want to go to the mall with my credit card, right? Then he asked me, bro, why you don't want to go to the mall with your credit card? I said, no, if I go to the mall, I will buy shit I don't want to buy. And he always tell me that should show you're not financially responsible, right? You should be responsible enough to walk in the mall with your credit card, knowing that I can walk in the mall with my credit card without buying nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
So for me, it's like before you move, you should be financially responsible, knowing that if I say I don't want to do this thing in the city I live in, if I'm moving to another city, I shouldn't do those things I say I wouldn't do.
Right.
that's a
I'm
fact.
sorry.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
So for me,
Yeah.
it's
That's a fact. But I gotta just one thing that you hit on that I gotta bounce off of. I kind of get you on leaving the credit card at the crib because like Diamond, what you said too. If you in the barbershop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut. If you always like to drink, if you go to the
Facts.
club, you probably sometimes you gotta not go to the club if you don't
That is
want to
no,
drink.
true.
but
I
Sometimes you
agree.
gotta not go or just leave the credit card or don't go to the mall.
no,
Facts.
Period. Like you know what I'm
me,
saying?
it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true. You got to do those things, right? But
Right.
it helped me.
Yeah,
It helped me a lot. It made me understand that you got to be responsible based on your action. The things you want to do, you got to be responsible based on the decision you make. You got to be
that's a
responsible.
fact.
If you go out right now, someone want to get in a fight with you, you got to think about what do I have to lose? What do this person have to lose before you retaliate? 9 out of 10,
Right.
I'm walking away, right? But so for me, I feel like when he said it, it makes sense. Like, dude, you should be
Hmm.
responsible enough
Yeah,
to know
Right.
that you can
yeah.
walk in the mall no matter what it is. Even if you spend 10 hours in the mall, if you don't want to shop, you don't have to shop. But
Right.
That's a fact.
you leaving your credit card home. For me, it make you feel like you're not that financially responsible. So which means
Right.
you
I
know,
feel it.
so,
It's fact.
you
It's
gotta be
fact.
able to
Bro. It's
control.
fact.
You gotta be able to control
Right.
yourself. So when he said it, it makes sense and it resonated with me. Like, man, he right. I should be responsible of my
Hmm.
action. I should be able to walk in the mall knowing the fact that I can walk in this mall, spend 5 hours. If I came here to eat, I'm gonna eat and go home. I don't have to shop. So that I told that, like, man, that was a great thing I learned from him, knowing the fact that you got to be responsible of your action. Just because you
Right.
have
That's a
money
fact.
doesn't mean you got to spend it. Just because someone said they live
Yeah,
in a city and the city is good doesn't mean you got to move. You got to be ready to move before you even make that decision. I see people move from Philly to Minnesota in 1 month. They move back to Philly. I don't know.
Right.
Because again, they wasn't mentally ready. They only
Right.
move based on what people tell them. Like what you just said. Oh man,
Right.
you can go to the mall. You can put your credit card in your pocket. You can spend 5 hours. You're gonna spend now. Just because you spend 5 hours in the mall doesn't mean you gotta spend.
Right.
So
that's a fact.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it go both ways, right? Because at the end of the day, too, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to like, put yourself in an environment to succeed, right? You want to like limit distraction. But my thing is, even moving to the new state, because yeah, you're moving to the new state, but you're taking that person who is yourself to a new state, right? And the same
yeah,
thing, we see that a lot, right? Most of the time, people are like, oh, this other person is the fault, I blame this other person for the relationship. But most of the time, now you go into that new relationship, you didn't work on previously happened. So you're taking you, so sometimes
True.
in order for
It's
us
the
to
same
like
you.
the same you, we have to make sure that we are working on that person ourselves first before we make that environment better. And I think that's why it's very, very important, because at the end of the day, if you're not willing to make that mental change, what like Mickey talked about, no matter what you go, bro, it's gonna be in the same situation.
Yeah.
We decided to make the change, right? We decided like we're gonna stay disciplined. We're gonna hold ourselves, each other accountable, and then now we're implementing that. And one thing I was just talking to like one of my mentors the other day, and he mentioned this, and it's really resonating with me about goal settings. And he was like, most of the time, everybody pretty much know what they want to do, but the reason why most people don't accomplish their goals is because the implementation, right? Because we know, for example, I would give an example of fitness. We know that if we eat less, if we work out, we're gonna get in shape, right? The knowledge is there, but what's hard is the implementation part, to actually go to the
That's right.
gym, to
It's true.
actually eat right. Most of the time we
Yeah.
all know what to do, but we don't have what it takes to just implement whatever we want to do. So I think sometimes it's about you. Sometimes we just have to like work on ourselves and make that change. Then it'll be a lot easier for us to get what we want to accomplish. I think
Yes.
Where's
And
Z at?
that's the piece too, bro. Like you said, just I think some more people need to just sit down for a second and be like, what do I actually want to do? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just chasing what everybody says you should do this, or everybody's a coach nowadays, right? You should do this, you should do
Right,
that. This is how you make a million. There's a million ways to make a million. You know what I'm
right,
saying? For real. You could do it any way you want to, but I think more people should just take like a little minute and just sit down and be like, what do I actually want to do? What do I want my life to actually look like? You know what I'm saying? Because then you'll see like maybe that don't even make sense to move to Phoenix if I want my life to look like this. If I want to go skiing you know what I'm saying? I guess you could go up to Flagstaff, but you
right,
see what I'm saying? Like you might want to move somewhere like that has snow. So
right.
I think being real with yourself, bro. Like how do I want to actually live is big, man.
It's true. I respect that. That's facts. What's up, Zena?
Welcome
What
back,
happened to your
Z.
food? What happened to your cricket? What happened to your cricket food, man?
Nah, man, we're not doing that, man. We're not doing that, man. We're not doing that. That's what happens when you forget to charge your phone, man. That's what happens.
I
That's what
do.
happens.
No,
One thing
yeah.
I did want to say though, like I think Blessed, she said that how do we find a community? And at the same time, I think Paul was in here, PK was saying he's like an expert when it comes to moving, man. So like I said, even like little places like this, just connect with people while we all in the same place, man.
Right.
We on the same wavelength if we having the same conversation. So I would
Yep.
connect with people even in here, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's how we
connection,
connect.
connection is good, but I think you gotta do your research too.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Right.
Yep.
don't make decisions based on other people's expectations. Because your experience in Phoenix may be more different from my experience when I moved in Phoenix, right? So I think before you move to that city,
Yeah.
learn
Mhm.
about the job, learn about the people, learn about the
Yeah.
team, learn a lot about the city before you move. Don't just move because Dama know. There are so many times Dama will tell me move to Philly, move to Denver. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not moving over there. It's too cold. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how you live over there, bro. But again, it took me a long time to do that. I never did it because I feel like because my brother lived there, he left is good. It doesn't it don't work that way. It may work
Yeah.
sometimes, but you gotta go there first. Gotta
Yeah.
do your research, know
Absolutely.
about the job, know
Yeah.
about the healthcare system, and what
Yeah.
you're into.
Yeah.
But most people move based
Mhm.
on other people's experience. Yo, the job you pick, because I know a lot of people African do that. Yo, the job you pay a lot of money. The next thing they're moving.
Hey, they not about to hire everybody though.
You
You
know,
know what I'm
the next thing they're moving. Yo, how much you make? Oh man, they pay me $30. I'm on my way without doing no research.
saying?
And then when
I'm
you
on the
move,
way, boy.
yeah,
I need that.
I need that money. But then, that,
877 cash now, baby.
now, now you
Oh,
move,
Stop,
and then
stop, Z.
you know what I mean. Things start going sideways. So for me, it's like always do your research.
oh,
877 cash now, baby. Come on.
that's dumb as
Man,
hell.
that's
It's my money and I need it now.
Come on, man.
it's my money and I need it now.
Nah, but
Man,
I absolutely agree. I think you shouldn't just make a decision blindly. Like,
right,
like you
right,
should always, you should always
That's
try to
right.
make the most educated decision you can.
Yeah.
And visiting a place is absolutely something you should probably do before considering living there. Now, granted, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm the type of person I could probably like live anywhere for like a year. You know, like I could move in like and just like for a year, I'm like, all right, cool. Like it may not have been the greatest thing, you know, but like at the end of the day, it wasn't bad, you know. But like, do I have a preference to live in certain places? Absolutely. You know, like I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to grow exponentially, you know, kind of thing. And I felt like making the move here to New York was going to help me do that, you know, kind of thing. And so that's a big reason why I moved here. But I came and visited here before, prior to moving out here. I didn't
Yeah.
just, I wasn't just like, oh yeah, I think I could make it out in New York. It was just like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'm outside, baby. You know, like, nah, man.
It's true.
I came and visited in over the summer, you know, and I ended up loving it out here. And I was just like, you know what, like I could really see myself living out here. And I was just like, yeah, like I'm gonna just rock, you know, like I'm gonna see what it looks like, you know, at least for a year, you know, kind of thing. So, I have to do so yeah, I definitely think doing your own research, you know, for yourself is something that you need to do. Don't just go off of what people say and do, you know, kind of thing. Like make your own decision as well.
Right.
And I think you should get. I think another thing I want to add to it too is I think if you do move, I think you should give it a chance to work,
Right.
like or not.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like you said, I could do it. I could do anywhere for a year.
Right.
I think if you move somewhere for 3 months and move back, you didn't even really give it a real chance to work. Like you know what I'm saying? So I think you got to just sometimes just maybe it's that simple. Like I'll give it a year. You know what I'm saying? Like if I still hate it at the end of the year, then you know maybe it's not for me. But give it a chance to work, bro.
I agree.
That's what I
That's a
say.
good point, bro. Because I was gonna say it seems that comes with even goals, right? Most people try things for a certain time. Like I know people who will hit me up, bro. They're like, I went to the gym for 2 months, bro. I haven't gotten no abs, and I'm like, what? You went to the gym for 2 months, you were consistent for 2 months, and then you didn't get abs, and you give up. You know, most of the time, like we just try things for a little bit, and we don't get the results within that short period of time, and then we give up. It doesn't work. No, like did you get it? Were you there for a year? Did you try to network? Did you try to do all these things? If your answer is yes to all those questions, then yeah, try somewhere else. But most of the time, bro, people just do like 30%. Oh yeah, I don't like the way that people talk to me in New York. They're too fast paced, you know. And they just quit. You know, you're not gonna get anywhere with that attitude, bro. With that mindset, you just. So I agree. You gotta live there at least for a year, and then try your best to like navigate and connect with people. If you do all that, if you're honest with yourself and not doing work, then try someone else.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, see things through, man. Like you know, like really give it the opportunity to breathe, man. You know, and to just flourish, right? You know, like if you want to manifest something, you know, like it's not gonna happen overnight. You know, like and it's just like I think. That's just like a crazy way to live life, to just have this unrealistic expectation that I'm gonna move somewhere and it's just gonna fix all my problems and this is gonna happen overnight. Like I'm like, that's not the way that it's gonna happen. Like, you know, like you gotta be willing to put in the work, the time, the effort, you know, like really in order to like, you know, in order to thrive. That takes a lot of effort. That's not something and it starts with you too. You know, like I think a big piece of your experience is like yourself.
Fact.
You know, like P and I, we talk about that all the time, you know, like the reason why I think we have such amazing experiences when we go and visit these places or like, you know, like now like living in these places is because of who we are and what we bring to the table. And like, I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. What you receive is like what you put out is what you receive, you know, kind of thing. And I'm all about that. Just like I said earlier, I'm gonna bring the vibes, you know, like we always bring the vibes, no matter where we go. You can drop off anywhere in the world. Somebody gonna catch these vibes, you know, kind of thing, you know, and it's just like, that is ultimately like a reflection of how I feel inside, you know, kind of thing. And like obviously like I think that attracts people to you, right? You know, like kind of thing. And so if you go out not wanting to have a good time, you're not gonna have a good time. If you go out wanting to have the best night of your life, you'll probably have the best night of your life if you move with that intention, you know, kind of thing. But shout out to Marco. He said, I want to live in New York. Hey man, you know, you got to come visit first. You haven't even visited yet, you know, so you got to come visit first. You know, stop horsing around and come on here. stop horsing around and bring your behind out here to NYC, baby.
All right. Before we wrap this up, any like tips and advice that you guys like want to share that works for you? That someone who's thinking about transitioning to a new, I'm not gonna say transitioning, So who's thinking about moving to a new state that might be beneficial for them? Can't even think.
That's hilarious.
Mm.
Shout out to Kami.
Hey,
What's
there's a
up?
page I call. Keep saying hi to you.
She keeps saying, "What's up?
What's up, Kami?
What's
We
up,
gonna really
Kami?
make her think it's a FaceTime. What's up,
What's
Kami?
up, Kami?"
We see. We
Yeah,
see.
Kami, man.
That's
Camila, man. Shout out
that's
to Camila, man.
hilarious.
That's the homie, man. But I would say like a piece of advice, just to wrap it up is just at the end of the day, man, like it really boils down to what you want in life. But at the end of the day, I think really just taking that leap of faith, like
Right,
it's something like we've talked about it a lot recently. When you take a leap of faith, life just has a funny way just like working itself out. Like you don't always know how something is going to go. Just like we were talking about earlier, I think you do have to do your research. If you want to live somewhere, you should probably go visit first and stuff like
right,
that. But at the end of the day, you could do all the research you want to in life and still never make the move, still
right,
never make the jump, never make that
right,
decision. But at the end of the day, the best things in life are right on the outside of your comfort zone. So I
right,
think really truly just like taking the opportunity to see, to P's point, to give yourself the opportunity to like really thrive in a different environment and really actually see it through, like and really just take it in for what it is and where it can take you in your life. Even if it's not the best experience, you're still going to learn something about yourself
right,
in the end of the day. Like you're going to learn something from it. You're either going to learn something about that place or you're going to learn something about yourself, or both,
right,
like kind of thing. And so I think that would just be my piece of advice, is just, if you're sitting there teetering, man, you can teeter forever. You can research whatever, but at the end of the day, if you don't take that leap of faith, man, like you're never going to know. And the biggest thing is you don't want to, like, the biggest thing that you don't want at the end of your life, or like, like when you're looking back and reflecting on life, is regret, man. Don't like
right,
be like, dang, I should have made that move out to, NYC, out to
right,
Miami, out to LA, out to Africa, out to
right,
Europe, whatever the case may be. Like, like just do it.
right,
Yeah. I mean, pretty much all the points that Z said, man. Really, just get, if you're really teetering, like you said, man, just try it, man. But
right,
like, visit first for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, tap into like whatever the things that are that you like.
right,
See what that, like, if you're into fitness, you might want to, see if the area that you're looking at has like a lot
right,
of gyms and fitness class, whatever you into, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, real
right,
estate conferences, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But then, yeah, bro, just give it the time to work, give
right,
it a chance to work, man. You know what I'm
right,
saying. I would just say just try it, and if you hate it, you can always move back.
right,
you
and
know you might love it though, so
right,
yeah,
and
just make the jump, bro. Yeah, like Z said it the best, man. I think if you move anywhere, you learn so much about yourself too.
right,
Yep.
You learn so much about yourself, man. So
right.
um
That's true. And
yeah,
also,
yeah.
life is short. Might as well just do it now. And you never know, man. Maybe you might meet the love of your life in a new state if you're single, right? Maybe you might meet that, like for me, I moved to Colorado. I met all these great guys who are like my friends to this day, Ramond, Zenas, all those great people are here. If I would have stayed in Philly, maybe it wouldn't happen, right? So sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith and believe in your ability and just go for it. Life is too short.
Yep.
Just take it.
And
You
Marco
might meet
said,
your soulmate.
you might, man. You might meet your soulmate. You might meet, like your right hand man,
Your
woman,
rich
whatever the
friend.
case may be. Like, um, but Marco said we should patch in Ellie. We probably should, honestly. Like, but I just reached out to her. We'll see if she answers. In the next like minute. But yeah, now like I think just taking the opportunity to just like get out, and because my thing is too, like, what I realized in traveling, like, like, because I didn't move until I moved to Dallas when I was 29.
Right,
Like, so I didn't move until like later, right? Like, other than that, I had lived in Denver, but I had visited a lot of places over time. And what I realized in just like going out and exploring like so much about the world, I was just like, man, the world is so damn big. I can't just live in Denver like all my life, man. Like, the world is
right,
too big for that. Like, I'm just like, the more you get out and start exploring the world and seeing what it has to offer you, it's just like, maybe I should just try my hand at living somewhere else, and like he said, like, giving it the opportunity to work, like, like I lived in Dallas for 4 years. And I enjoyed it. You know, I gave it the opportunity, and now I moved on to the next thing. You know, kind of thing. And it's just like, you know, that's the beauty of it, right? Like, you're not tied down to anywhere permanently forever, like nowhere, like, you know, like unless you really want to be, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, like, move, man. Just do it. Move your ass. Move your ass. Move your ass.
All right.
Nah, fact.
All right. Before we wrap up, man, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate you guys being engaged, tuning to this every Monday, man. We do this every Monday at 7 p.m. So join us every Monday. We're gonna be.
We manifesting everything we want, man. And shout out to Bless, man. The Miss Bless, Mrs. Bless. Stay blessed, girl. Stay blessed. We appreciate you tuning in. Stay blessed.
Real quick, Diamond. What do you know the handle? What's the handle for the page?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just drop it in here, man. Anybody that's on here, if you still here, you know what I mean. You know, y'all should tap into the page for us, man. We got a page where we drop all of these.
You got it, Z?
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Hold on. I just posted it.
Yeah, the Spot Podcast.
Follow at the Spot_podcast, man. So if y'all still here, you know what I mean, tap into that. We're gonna be posting like little clips and stuff from the lives that we do, full live zooms, man. And you know, we just been building it out, man. So
absolutely. Have a blessed Monday.
We appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Shout out to y'all boys. The boy.
All right, y'all.
Shout out to the boy.
All right, the boy.